Hello everyone, this is in-depth analysis by Arenze. Trump sent his special representative Steve Witkoff to Moscow after his two delegates, Marco Rubio, US Secretary of State, and Mike Waltz, National Security Advisor, met with their Ukrainian allies in Saudi Arabia to discuss the peace plan for ending the war. The two parties, Ukraine and US, agreed on 1 month ceasefire, but they needed their Russian counterparts to agree too, in order to cease the hostilities in Ukraine.
This is ending this war once and for all. Today we made an offer that the Ukrainians have accepted, which is to enter into a ceasefire and into immediate negotiations to end this conflict in a way that's enduring and sustainable and accounts for their interests, their security, their ability to prosper as a nation. I want to personally thank, we both want to thank the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, His Majesty, for hosting us, for making this possible. They've been instrumental in this process, and we're very grateful to them for hosting us here today. And hopefully we'll take this offer now to the Russians. And we hope that they'll say yes, to peace. The ball is now in their court. And but again, the president's objective here is, number one, above everything else, he wants the war to end. And I think today Ukraine has taken a concrete step in that regard. We hope the Russians will reciprocate.
Trump sent his special representative Steve Witkoff to Russia on March 13 to discuss the new development. Russia's President Vladimir Putin, while talking with the Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko, said he agrees with the idea of a ceasefire, but there are some nuances. He said Ukraine is agreeing to the ceasefire because of the pressure of US.
Now regarding Ukraine's readiness to end hostilities. The American-Ukrainian meeting in Saudi Arabia may outwardly look like a decision made by the Ukrainian side under American pressure. In fact, I am absolutely convinced.
This is somehow true because Zelensky, when he visited the White House, said there is no room for diplomacy and Ukraine will never leave its territory for Russia. This even brought a dramatic exchange of words between him and US Vice President J.D. Vance. He only changed his stance when the US government cancelled military aid and intelligence sharing to Ukraine. Secondly, Putin said it is unclear who will give orders to stop the hostilities in Ukraine and what their price will be.
Then how will these 30 days be used? Will this time be used to continue forced mobilization in Ukraine, or so? That weapons can be delivered there? Or so? That newly mobilized units can undergo military training? Or none of this will be done? But then the question arises, how will the issues of control and verification be resolved? How can we be sure, and how will we be guaranteed that nothing like this will happen? How will control be organized? I hope that at the level of common sense this is clear to everyone. These are all serious questions. And who will give orders to cease hostilities? And what is the price of these orders? Can you imagine? This is almost 2,000 kilometers.
In this statement, he is talking about some nationalist brigades like the Azov Brigade and others who will not take orders from Zelensky or Ukraine Commander-in-Chief Alexander Syrskyi and will continue the war regardless of what their president said. He also said it is better to focus on the real cause of the war and be pragmatic with the current situation on the ground rather than asking for temporary ceasefire in which Ukraine will keep getting weapons, recruit more soldiers, and have enough time to train them. One of the reasons Russia will not accept this ceasefire is, first of all, US is talking about Russia accepting the ceasefire to show a good gesture. Let me remind you, in February 2022, when the first peace talks were happening in Istanbul, Russian soldiers were in Kyiv, Ukraine capital. The US, Europe and Ukraine told Russia to withdraw from the Ukraine capital as an act of goodwill, so it won't be as if they are pointing guns to the Ukraine government and forcing them to sign the peace deal. All this was in 2022 when the war newly started. Then Russia withdrew. The next thing, Ukraine refused to sign the deal then and bogged down to fight to the last Ukrainian. So you see the lack of trust here. Another thing is, Ukraine is currently occupying some Russia's territory. So if there is a ceasefire, it means Ukraine will keep it, and Russia can never accept that. They are saying the Ukraine invasion into their territory is a terrorist act, given the fact Ukraine up till now have not declared any war against Russia, and also they committed some war crimes against the Russian populations in Sochia, the Russia's territory they invaded, and put in vow justice for the Russian citizens in Sochia. One notable thing being that Russia has almost liberated the settlement Ukraine invaded and are also advancing in all fronts. So clearly the momentum is with them. In conclusion, the ceasefire proposal will only benefit Ukraine enormously and will not in any way benefit Russia. And Russia insists to continue the conflict until their demands are met, and Putin sent a signal of it by putting on a military fatigue he has not been seen wearing since the beginning of the war, to tell the West the war is far from over until their demand is met. That's all I have for now. This is in-depth analysis by Arinze. We support no violence. Remember to like, comment your opinion about my analysis, and most importantly, subscribe to my channel. Thanks.